Hi, this is Lorena, and I wanted to do a tutorial on the Amish Temperance block. You need 20 half square triangles, size 2 inches. So we're going to use our 1.5 inch stangle to make these 2-inch stangles. Oh, I'm sorry, 2-inch half square triangles, and you need 20 of them. You're also going to need 4 3.5 inch half square triangles, and so we're going to use our 3-inch stangle to make our 3.5 inch half square triangle. Remember, if this is 3 inches, your half square triangle would be 3.5. And if you have any of your scraps anywhere, this is a great project to use up all those scraps and make a really beautiful Amish temperance block. I hope you like this tutorial, and let's get started. 2 inches. And I'm going to add a color to it, and so here's my color. And I'm using the fabric that we used for the other Amish diamond star block. And so here I just have the strips together, and of course we're going to put the tangle on top, and we're going to pin. Remember, have your fabrics kissing each other, and so I'm doing that one. And then here's this is probably like 4 inches wide, and we're going to kiss these two fabrics together as much as we can. And we have our 3-inch stangle here, and we're going to pin on both sides. And then we're going to go to the sewing machine and just sew them and iron them. And what you can do is just chain them when you're doing your rotate it. Next, we're going to trim and cut. We're just going to trim all the way around and then across, and just make sure that you have your ruler on top of it. And I'm just going to do a real quick one so that you can see it. Make sure you follow your lines. If you do this right, you don't have to remeasure with your ruler to see if your half square triangle is right. And so remember, we need 20 of them, and so you need to make 10 of these to get 20, because you'll make 2 half square triangles. Then you fold this back. Let me see if I can do it right. Fold it back, and then you tear it. And here's your, hold on, 2-inch half square triangle. So we're just going to keep doing that. I'm going to also do that with this. And this is going to be a 3.5 inch half square triangle, and then we'll start building the block. So here I'm going to iron, and remember, I iron towards the dark. And, well, that one's towards the color. That was mad. And you can finger press them open. So here's my half square triangles, and then we're going to build the block. And here's my corners. Then you need a half square triangle this way. And it goes this way from I think. And then you need a center piece. And so there's this a fourth of the block right here. And then a dark one. Then we're going to do this one, this side. Okay, so this one's done. Now we need one more corner. So this is our block, and now we're going to go build it. Now, I recommend, what I did is, I did one area, then I worked on this area, then I worked on this spot, and this spot, and I stayed focused so that I didn't lose sight of how to put it together. And so let's get to the sewing machine. And on this one I sewed and I moved back. Sewed and I moved it back. And then on here I sewed these two ends. Remember this spot right here, you want to kind of mush them together, make sure they're tight, and then you can hold your finger there, and now you see that beautiful straight line right there. And I pin right there to make sure it doesn't shift on me. And so now we're going to go on the sewing machine and just sew it. My tails, and see, you want that perfect. Do you see how it's a perfect triangle? And then right here you have a fourth. Now right here you want to make sure that it's perfect, and so I'm going to snug it up. I'm going to pin it again like that, and you can see it's a little off, so I'm going to push it, and then we're going to just sew. I haven't ironed yet because I just haven't ironed yet. And you want it exactly like this, where it has that fourth and that perfect space. Okay, so now you have these two pieces. What I recommend is you iron. For this fourth of a block complete together. And so you have several seams. You have this seam and you have this seam, and you want to make sure they're all connected together. And I'm getting, it feels a little bit off there. And then I'm going to pin right there. And then you have this seam right here, these two seams, and you want to go ahead and make sure that they get in line. Okay, what do you do if you have like this weird puckering? You just, when you're on the machine, you just pull a little bit and it'll straighten out for you, so don't worry about it. And then there's your straight line. And then we're going to the sewing machine right here. Okay, and then take all the pins out, and there's your block. The way you know you did a good block is you have a fourth, and a fourth, and a fourth to build onto your next block. And we're going to iron that and then keep building all four. So here's my block, and these are some, I want to just give you some pointers on this block because it's a little bit intricate. Let's see. I have all my four pieces sewn together. And these are some key points to think about. I wanted to make sure I had a fourth here, and that all these little areas kind of came to a fourth. See, that's not really a fourth, and I'm going to lose that point. So what I would do is just fix it, because I'm here. And I need to have fourth here, and a fourth here. And I need to check all of them and make sure that I have a fourth space. Now I'm going to make sure this seam butts up with this one and this one. And then when I have this sewn, I'm also going to have to make sure these seams butt up perfectly together so that it makes you keep all your points. Okay, so I went back and I went ahead and I fixed this area so that when I put it together here, I don't lose this point. So now I'm going to pin these, turn it over on the top of that triangle. And I'm going to get this triangle, and then I'm going to pin it. Hopefully I could get it on the video. Right to the very top, and I know my my triangles, and then I'm gonna horizontally pin it. Now here I have the same thing right there, and I'm gonna pin it to the top of this triangle, and then I'm gonna pin it horizontally so that I do not run over those points. And I'm going to feed my sewing machine, and you see the needle right there to the edge, and then I'm just going to pull it out. And I'm going to, as I run the machine, I'm going to just kind of straighten my fabric and just run it through. And then pull it out. Now you don't have to do it this way. I just noticed, and let's see if it even works, that I tend to get not run over my points when I do it this way. So there's my needle, and I'm going to pull it away from the sewing needle and then run it, and then there I am on my point. You want the points and you want the straight line. So here we are, and I have everything ironed. Here I did this here, this side, and now we're going to do the horizontal line. And so make sure you have your fourth space so that you don't lose your points. And remember, you're going to have to pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. And so this is our T for Temperance Amish block. I think it looks beautiful. I don't know what you think. Just let me know if you like it or not. Have a wonderful day.